Hey guys, I am here today with my my November Nonfiction November TBR. So I watched Silja. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Celia, her video, and basically I was like, oh my gosh, I need to participate. She so I'm not good at doing this anymore. All right, so in case you don't know what Nonfiction November is, Olive from Book Olive started it 4 years ago, I think. And basically, the goal is to read nonfiction books in November. At first, I was like, I'm not sure if I have like the mental space or capacity for that. But then I watched some TBRs and I was like, okay, just kidding. I need to participate. And like Celia, I don't know how to pronounce her name. There's 4 prompts and each prompt has like 2 words associated with it. And she picked one book for each word. And so I'm going to do that too. So I have 8 books. I'm not going to read them all. Let's just be honest with ourselves. But I'm going to try to pretend like I'm going to. All right. So the first challenge is Pastime and / Pastime. And it's also the whole month of November. I will link all the details below in case there's some way that you have not heard of this. Right. So for Pastime, which is like in the past, I have picked, and a lot of the books that I have fit that, but for a specific challenge, I picked We Wish to Inform You That Tomorrow We Will Be Killed with Our Families, Stories from Rwanda by Philip Goryevich. And so this it talks about the Rwandan genocide of 1994, I guess, where the Houthis were killing the Tutsis. And yeah, all the books that I picked are not pleasant, in case you are wondering. So this is definitely something that I've been interested in for a long time. And some of these are big old stretches. This one is a big old stretch. For Pastime, I picked The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I don't have any hobbies. I don't like doing anything except reading, and I don't particularly like reading books about reading. I find them very boring because then it's just like I could just be reading. But I am a nurse, and I did really like, my biology courses and my microbiology courses and my, my science. I like science a lot, so this has to do with genetics and stuff, so that fits, right? This is the story of Henrietta Lacks, and they basically like are, her cells still exist, and it's very interesting. I just listened to, I think like her granddaughter or something on Democracy Now! Talking about it, and how now the family does have to be asked permission in order for the cells to be used. So like people that are doing research will like petition or like, send the proposal or something. So that's super cool that that exists now. But I do want to read the actual story of how this happened. The next one that I have, or the next prompt, is self/shelf. So for that, I have 2 books that I have started a while ago. For self, I picked Black Boy by Richard Wright. This one I'm like 100 pages into. Self, not because, whatever. Self because it's a memoir. So again, I'm very plain and boring. I don't really have anything that's like, related to me at all. So I just went with a memoir because I think self and memoir, that makes sense. And the other one is Shelf. For Shelf, I picked Democracy Now! By Amy Goodman. I started reading this. I'm actually quite further in it than I thought. Well, not really. The pages are thick. I went and I bought this, and I got it signed by Amy because I'm obsessed with her. I think signed. I listen to Democracy Now! Every day, and so I was reading this. I was finding it a little boring, though, because the stories that are mentioned here are all stories that I've heard her talk about on her program, but I do want to just, like, finish it. So, fingers crossed. All right, the next prompt is Wander/Wonder. For Wander, I have picked Blue Highways. This was a recommendation from one of my good friends here in Portland. I've known him for a while. But this is a book that he really enjoyed, and it's basically, I think, this guy, William Least Heat Moon, goes on like a road trip through America, I think maybe on a motorcycle, but I'm not 100% sure about that, but it is like a travel memoir type thing. All these books are like super chunky too. And then for Wonder, I also have a lot of books that I could fit for this. I wonder how people could be so horrible and idiotic. So I'm reading this book, Imbeciles by Adam Cohen. I bought this, I think, at Indie Bookstore Day either this year or last year. But it's basically the story of Carrie Buck, but it talks about like sterilization and eugenics in the United States, which is like a horrible thing that we did that I don't think that people talk enough about. Like, it's really, really terrible. And so I just, wonder how anyone could possibly think that that's an okay thing to do. And then the last prompt is micro slash macro. For micro, I have On Immunity by Eula Bliss. I actually won this. I think it was the 24 and 48. Maybe not this year, but last year. I have too many books, y'all. I need to start reading them. So this is about like immunity and vaccinations and stuff like that. So micro, because they're very small things. And then for macro, I picked, this also might be kind of a stretch, Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. I picked it for macro because I feel like, he like starts off with one kind of case. I think, I have not read this book, so this is total speculation, but I believe he, is involved. I think he's a lawyer. Yeah, he's one of the most brilliant and influential lawyers of our time. So he like is looking at the criminal justice system in general though. So I feel like it's macro because it's like kind of the whole bit of the criminal justice system in the United States. I think that's a stretch. Anyways, yeah. So those are all of the books. That's a lot of pages. My goal is to read at least one from each of the 4 sections. That would be great if I could read 4 nonfiction books in 1 month. I'd be so pleased. But yeah, so again, none of those are like particularly happy. I guess Blue Highways is probably going to be kind of fun, and On Immunity will just be interesting, and then the rest of them will be depressing. So yay! Let me know if you've read any of these, if you have any opinions, etc. I will talk to you guys later.